Our three brothers from Tulsa who have sold over 15 million albums worldwide. They've got 3 Grammy nominations to their credit. They're back in the country. Welcome them now to Rove Live, Zach Taylor and Isaac Hanson.
How does Beyonce feel about seeing that on TV?
I have to say, that was quite a scene backstage.
You're telling me.
Yeah.
Are you
Look
okay?
pretty passionate.
I think I hit puberty.
Yeah.
I feel pretty good.
The last 2 segments reminded me a little bit too much of backstage at our shows.
Now, a lot of people might not have seen you for a while, so let's run through now how old you all are, so everyone in the audience who is of an equivalent age can scream at the prospect of you. Me? I'm 30.
30.
I'm 19.
Yeah, 21.
24.
And whose birthday's tomorrow?
Mine. So he's 24 tomorrow.
You're 24 tomorrow. Any plans? Any plans for the birthday?
We got a show.
Yeah, a show tomorrow, a sold-out show here in Melbourne, and that's going to be great. I think that, in a way, is kind of like the best birthday present somebody could have. A lot of fans coming to a show. I mean, I'm like one of the luckiest guys around. I get to go and play
Zach
music
and Taylor have got it easy. You don't have to buy a present this year. No gift.
Well, they never buy me presents anyway.
He's cheap. He doesn't buy us presents anyway.
Exactly.
Hey.
Now, when you guys first burst onto the scene, you were all fairly young, but Zach, you were the youngest. What was it like growing up in what was such Hanson mass hysteria?
Well, we've been a band for 13 years now. So I was 6 when we started, and that was about 5 years before anyone ever saw what we were doing.
Before we came to Australia for the first time.
So, it's always just been about making music, and obviously having that many people know you and that many people have heard your records and want to come to concerts and things is an amazing thing that any band around the world just hopes to get that opportunity to do. So
I remember the first time just coming to Australia and seeing the fans here and just being, in awe.
Was that when you came in '97? Was that the first time?
It was the first time we came to visit.
Because this is the
this is
of when you were here, and it was incredible. It was. I could only imagine that kind of thing.
Well, I think it was 25,000 people somewhere in there.
Wow. That girl looked like she had it rough there. Someone in the crowd was like, "You're not getting close to the stage."
Is there any part of you, like, when you go through that, because we've got footage of you there,
sure,
when you look back at it now, there'd be all these press clippings and photography and all this kind of press. Is it something like you were going through an age where you just went, can we burn all of that?
There's moments, There's moments where, like, that shirt, no.
I still have those moments every once in a while these days, too. That shirt, no, not so good.
Not so good.
Oh, sorry.
No.
And like the rest of your family, because there's 7 children in the family?
There are 7.
We have, they're all young. I mean, we're the oldest of a big family.
Is everybody else musical as well?
They're musical, but nobody is kind of going, hey, I want to be in a band. I mean, obviously they're around us. They used to travel with us when we were really young, because
Because I was 11.
And so they would come along and see the world, and so they've been around it, so they love music. But I don't think there's a Hanson,
I mean, the thing about us back in the day was that, we were really kind of like psychotically driven to do music. It was kind of actually I don't know what was wrong with us. Yeah, exactly. It's kind of still that way.
It always, exactly. It's always been just we love to play live. I mean, I remember that being in Melbourne for the first time, showing up. We were going to do a couple acoustic songs.
Still have that same acoustic guitar with me for the
show.
Night.
Do an acoustic show tomorrow night, and it was just seeing those fans. It's just like this is what I always wanted to be doing. This is.
And Taylor, you're a dad. Is it something?
Yes.
Will we see a Hanson 2 in the next generation of Hanson coming through? So all of you with children at home conclude, well, if I missed out, my daughters won't.
He is a cute one, ladies. Watch out. I tell you.
Exactly.
No, he's really musical, I have to say. He's very smart, which I don't know where he got that from.
Well, he's also spent so much time around us. This whole
wait.
process.
You said smart, and then he said spent time around us. How about that?
Well, I didn't mean that part. I meant the music thing. His whole life has been basically this most recent album has been spent, making that, and so he's just been through studio process and touring. He walks on stage whenever we're rehearsing, and he's like, bang bang, tar, key. So he's
that's
very
nice.
Yeah, he's the poor guy. We've infected him already.
And actually, speaking of the latest album, Isaac, Underneath, this must be very exciting because this was released on your label.
Yes, it was. We, a few years back, parted from our old record company and took the album that we were making with them and released it independently in the United States. Had a #1 independent debut in the United States.
It's different also. I mean, every band starts out independent. You know, you're just doing your thing. And, you know, we've now had a lot of success, and it's been amazing to have fans around the world. But after, you know, kind of the industry's been changing a lot, and we just felt like we wanted to be able to own our music. We wanted to be able to do it differently. And it's a different kind of gratification to put out a record and have success, not only as a band, but as a record company. And to work with, you know, we've worked with other independent labels all over the world to put it out. It's very cool.
And the important thing is flexibility in the years to come. I mean, the music industry has kind of gone through a lot of restructuring lately, constant corporate merger and whatnot. And we feel like the best place that we as a band and most bands can be in is in a very flexible and free place to constantly be doing music and never worry about it. You know?
A lot of yoga.
Is there still a sense of risk, though, even for people like you?
There's a huge sense of risk.
Because, you know, you've still got such a huge fan base, but to go independent, was it a scary thing to go through?
Somebody was saying it's much more lucrative for you when you sell a record because you are the label also. But what they forget is that you're also spending all that money on the front end to show people that the music.
Or to make the records and just to get on tour, all the things that you have a different. You should have a different perspective on it. We've always been very hands-on. We've always loved to do everything, but it's just a different thing when you're really taking the risk all yourself. It comes down to what do you want to be doing in 10 years, and it comes down to your trust and your belief in the music and belief in the fan base, and really building that connection stronger. I mean, we don't want it to be 4 years before we're back in Australia again. You know,
well, we look forward to having you back, and so too to all the people. I'm not joking. They are screaming out the front of this building. We've already had one building this year burned to the ground, boys. Do not do it again.
That was when we forgot to come, right?
we were going to come.
In the meantime, the album Underneath, including the single Penny and Me, is out now. Please thank the boys from Hanson.